Welcome back to your program, People's Imbizo, brought to you by African News Network. If you have just joined us, you're lucky because you haven't missed it all. We're talking about the tensions and the intensity of rivalry between trade unions. We've had NUM earlier in the first segment. Now I have two more guests on my panel that have joined us that will help us understand what's been going on. To my right, Mr. Themba Makeleni is the Media Relations Officer for the National Council of Trade Unions. And also to my far right, we spoke to her in the first segment. That's Ms. Matapelo Kanye. That's the Regional Secretary for the Women's Structure in the PWV region. Warm welcome to our new guests. I'll start with you, Mr. Makeleni. What is the code of conduct that is relating to the control of inter-union relations? Because we're seeing all this arson that is happening. We're seeing members' lives being lost. We're seeing so much violence amongst members of trade unions. What is the code of conduct?
We, as the National Council of Trade Unions, NACTO in short, we strongly condemn, we reject it with the contempt it deserves, anything that is associated with rivalry. We believe that as unions, we're the lifeblood of the economy of this country. Nobody should attack each other, but we need to hit on the same note as workers, as we develop the economy of the country. Now, the problem that we have, we've got different camps. From these labor camps, there are people who say, no, this is what we believe in. We believe in money. What we believe in as NACTO is that as workers, somebody must go to work, coming back home and say, I'm safe, I've been working for my family, and I'm safe to come and provide. I'm safe after working to put bread on the table for my family. No attack. We strongly and we reject it with the contempt it deserves.
And yet it happens. So how do they relate to each other? We can see a certain organization or a certain company that will have two trade unions that are representing different workers, different employees within that organizations. How do they relate amongst themselves? Should there be negotiations that they need to put through to management? Should they be negotiating for wages or working conditions? What's the conduct there?
There is a table for negotiation. That's where we discuss issues. That's where we iron issues. Now, the problems that we have these days, some of these trade unions, they've got hit squads because they want to promulgate their names as if they've got the big membership. It's not about the big membership. It's about the right thing that is being done, the respect that the workers and the trade unions deserve. That's what we need. Anything that is associated with rivalry is not part of us.
Right, so there's a way of communicating amongst trade unions. There's a code of conduct that informs that conversation, but it is not being adhered to clearly. Ma'am, perhaps we spoke a bit before the break. What needs to happen going forward?
What needs to happen, probably I should first greet everyone here and thank for the opportunity given. And hopefully that out of this, something positive will come out. What needs to happen is that we need to understand that workers' rights are human rights. Each and every individual has a right to join a union of choice, has a right to go and work and be safe at the working environment without any attacks, whether those attacks emanate at the working place or they emanate outside the working place. But what needs to be done now, both trade unions, not only NUM and AMCU, but I think we need not include other unions because we have never had any other union that was attacked like NUM. We're talking of NUM and AMCU because our attacks have been coming from this union that you're talking about. Both unions need to come on the table and have a proper and human discussion to understand that it is not only about numbers. It's about the safety of workers. It's about the livelihood of the workers. It's about representation of the workers. And I will bring you to something that probably people are not aware of. We, as NUM, we are not in any form of violence whereby we have intimidated any person. Our member.
Why do you think you've become such a target? Because you say most of the attack is coming to you as NUM members. Why NUM out of all the other trade unions?
What I will tell you is that as NUM, we stand for the truth. We have to represent our members and we have to give them the truth. I will take you back to the issue that happened at Marikana. So with the same trade union, individuals or workers were promised 12,500 rand. As NUM, we were clear to the workers to say, based on the economy and based on the studies that were done, that could not have been possible. Hence, there were negotiations. The same situation is happening now at Val Sanitary. Our members are being attacked because NUM has been on the tables. We have been skilled with negotiation skills to say, before you go to the wage negotiations, there are aspects that needs to be covered. We are not saying that we will take what the employer gives us, but we have to sit on the table and negotiate for the better and the interest of our employees. So because we are giving our members what is reality and what needs to be done, the other trade union, unfortunately, it's not giving that. And if a person is hungry, you turn out to go for something that you think is workable. And you find that this trade union is exposing our people to more poverty. Because as much as they are aware that our people are poor, we are fighting for betterment of their livelihood, they expose them to more and more and more on things that are quite impossible.
Just a few minutes ago, one of our panel members raised a very interesting point that we see a situation with trade unions when they're in their rivalry, they'll promise heaven and earth to members. And of course, there's issues that need to be looked into when you're going to the negotiating table with management. You need to see how the company is performing. You need to be realistic about the issues that you're bringing to management coming from the workers. But because trade unions are so into themselves and they're so into, just getting as many members as they can, they end up promising heaven and earth, and it's just not feasible. I just want to come to the audience and find out how this has affected the negotiating when you're talking to management, when you're being represented by your trade unions.
My name is Matai Simon Mofepe. I wish to direct a question to the executive member of NACTU. And I'm speaking under correction. Is AMCO affiliating to you? If AMCO is affiliating to you, do you know there's a particular branch in Meyaton that is been on strike for 3 months? And I need to know from you as an office, what is it that you do, or what step are you going to take to ensure that you resolve the situation there at Val Sanitary?
This is unnecessary. You nearly cost the people, the lives of people here. Please have one vision. I'm asking you and I'm pleading to you, please have one vision. Stop these fightings.
Thanks very much. My name is Sebokeng. I would like to pose a question to NACTU. Is NACTU aware that AMCO is organizing where one of their affiliates again, BICAO, is organizing? So what does their scope tell them in terms of organizing in one branch? Because we always say one industry, one union, one union, one industry. So it becomes a surprise to us as to say they are stepping on each other's toes yet again. Coming to NACTU, I don't know how do they do that, but with AMCO so far, we have seen disasters. And I call upon NACTU to condemn this. Okay. And if possible, they must take this union out of their affiliation.
All right. You raise a very important question there. Of course, that this is posed to the National Council of Trade Unions, their Media Relations Officer. Mr. Makeleni, is there an issue of conflict of interest here? Are you affiliated with AMCO?
Okay, fine. Let me go back as far back as more than 10 years ago. The President of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki, at some stage, he wanted to do away with the unions. And I think one of the reasons he cited he anticipated the conflict that is coming. AMCU is an affiliate of NACTO. I'm the media relations officer of NACTO. I'm not the president or the general secretary. But if you check my statements, all the statements that I issued to all the media houses, National Council of Trade Unions has been condemning each and everything that is associated with the killings. Now fine. As far back as I was a schoolboy, my father was a mine worker. We've never seen any conflict. We've never seen workers fighting amongst themselves. But now, as from the Marikana incidents, the war is starting up there, but the people at the ground are suffering. That's where we've got to nip it in the bud. These people who are at the ground know nothing about it, but the problem is up there. We tried to fight with it. The only thing is I fought it to an extent that I became an enemy. They don't want to listen to me because we have seen the 34 people who died in Marikana. We've seen the people who are dying because of the conflict of interest. Now, what we're trying to say, we have seen this happening, and we try by all means every day to stop this. Now, one other thing that we always do. 2 weeks ago, we met at Beachwood Hotel, trying to fight these conflicts. You are not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. The glasses, the jugs flew around our faces, because you don't know what you're doing. And the aim was to stop this conflict. Now, there are two organizations, there are two people who've got to fight this and nip it in the bud. The authorities of the law must catch the people who are doing the wrong thing. You said there must be a commission that is being set. There is a council that is dealing with the issues of the workers that you can refer to in NEDLEC, the National Economic Development of Labour Council. That's where the issues of the workers are addressed. Take this and report it to them, because all these unions that are mushrooming, the aim is to have money while the people at the ground are suffering.
And perhaps you can respond to a direct question from Teboho. You spoke about a region where there's different trade unions that are coming to mobilize at the same time. Are you aware of this as NACTO, and how do you deal with situations like that so that you nip it in the bud?
Yeah, in fact, I heard about it only last week, that there is a group that is on strike. And we phoned the people, the leaders of AMCU, the president of AMCU. I was still waiting for the response. As a media office, I'm in the head office of NACTO, but we don't know what all the nitty-gritties that are taking place in somewhere around the corner, like the police. The police can fight the crime, but there are hidden crimes that the police can't get. We are at that problem right now. We're trying to nip that in the bud.
But do you think it poses a problem, the fact that NACTO is affiliated with AMCU? How do you then regulate what AMCU does if they've done anything wrong? How are you seen as being objective?
Fine. We've tried to address that. There is something that I can't talk right now. We are at war within ourselves, trying to address such issues. Because we believe that there is no trade union that is supposed to be a law unto itself. That's what we believe in. There is a problem. There are people who do not want to listen. I'm not worried about the leaders of the unions. No, I'm worried about the people who are at the ground, who are expected to go home at night, and yet they're not able to go there, they're being killed.
And yet the problem, like you said, starts right at the top. Captain Maguvela, do you think it is fair that this issue is being brought to your feet to say the police must deal with this this rivalry? I mean, is it not up to them as trade unions to come to a conclusion and to come to a solution?
Let me clarify my point. I don't say they must deal with it. I said they must arrest the criminals, all those who are implicated in the killings, be it the member of AMCU, be the member of NACTO, they must be arrested. We expect the authorities If they catch them, they must just put them behind bars.
Are you saying that the cops are not doing their job?
No, I say they must just do it. If they get them, they must. No, they do their job.
Okay.
But I must say they must just tighten the
All
grip.
right, let's go back to the audience and see if, yes, ma'am, can we get a microphone here?
Ntate ha ke understand ntate wa ka tlhompho ke a hlompa o ntate le ponisa o tseba mola o ile sekolong ha motho a tong attacker bona re buisane le batho bana mmene ra buisana hore no member tsa NUM jwale re khutlela mosebetsing 3 months full di policy di lapses re dutse ha una income e kenang bana le certificate ha ba khutla man bona ba tlo benefita something rona re benefita eng nothing mara la ra mamella ho tseo tsohle re ile man ra buisana le bona le leader ya rona kona ra buisana hore no Monday re a kena re thewetse Monday Tuesday ha bosubu sa dintlo tse 3 ka di bommwe di bottlong tse di le mo nna re le mo ntlo mme the following day batho bane ba etsa mona ntate ba itse there is no case empa bottlolo e dutse mo le dikatana tsa petrol bomb yeo ya teng di le mo ba re ha una case so now ke batla o tseba re maponesa ha ntate a re o tla correct ibane ke le wrong se ke kwatile too much but ntwe mona e ka ra ina solution ntate ha a re re tlise the culprit ha motho a tlo attack ha ntate bosiu ka ha re robale ha ire 11 o'clock re stetse di phone tshwantse re tsoe jwale re tonne mahlo until 6 o'clock in the morning ka be le khona re robalang ha motho a tlo attack ka 1 bosiu ntate o tlo mo tseba jwa motho ke mang koloi eme mona motho wa khela petrol bomb buru wa tsama o tlo bo bona jwa ntate hore ke mang motho a attackile mo batho bana ba chiste fam in the first place.
Yes, issues that have been simmering underneath are starting to come out. Of course, you know, the members of the community are really enraged. They want to see action happening. I'll come to you, Mr. Makeleni. I think the first question was directed to yourself. How do you see trade unions that are affiliated to the same body mobilizing in the same area? How does this happen? Are you creating an environment that allows for trade unions to work peacefully and in a way that is productive, not only for them, but also for the members?
Yeah. Let me answer a question, Gamama, of not understanding AMCO and Bikau under Inactu. For Inactu is a federation. A federation is the mother body. Now, it is allowing it can have AMCO, it can have Bikau, it can have whoever. As long as you've got the right number, you can form your own union. Now, Bikau has got its own people, its own number. AMCO has got its own number. They are allowed the members of the federation. But now the problem that is not needed, that we reject, it's the infight. That's where our problem is. That's where we're trying to get the problem of solving the problem.
And the motive for these trade unions is money. That's why we have all this fighting.
The problem is money. The problem is money. Okay, fine. Let's take, under NACTU, we've got almost 17 unions. 17 of unions. But as long as they are the members that qualified for being the member of federation, we accept them. But we don't accept the corruption. We don't accept the infighting. We don't accept the killing of the people.
All right, I want to come to you, Captain Makwela, very quickly. Is there a time frame, though, that you can give the community? I understand they have their own job to do, but on your part, how long does the process take when someone comes in, on a crime scene and they investigate, they collect evidence? How long does it take for turnaround for you to be able to see who these fingerprints belong to?
It depends, Mama. It depends because remember, it's not done at the police station. When we take the fingerprints, we send them to the forensic. And the forensic experts, they are making sure that they check those fingerprints and find out who those fingerprints belongs to. And that is when they will return those fingerprints to the station. And they will make sure that we trace those people. It's not the first case, which happened. And the people think they don't know the people. But at the end of the day, we do arrest the suspect.
Okay, any more questions from the audience?
As long as we get the information, we are going to do it.
My name is Griffiths Mzizi. I'm the ward councillor of this area. Even though I'm late, I had some meetings. I want to pose direct question to the captain, if I'm correct. I'm a bit disturbed, a little bit by, it's like you are exonerating AMCU. AMCU is the one that is perpetrating this, it's clear. I'm saying this on the basis that close to 6 to 7 houses has been attacked. Number one, it happened in Midal. It's the same AMCU. It happened to other strikes. Wherever AMCU is, people has to die. Wherever AMCU is, people have to be attacked. That is a fact. We did sit with the management of the subs, with the generals, together with NAM. And we presented our plan and our request, which is we are still happy that something has been considered. But the fact that we will say community must say not AMCU, it's really become misguided or misleading. We know exactly who are the people perpetrating this thing. The police must go directly to, as it's been said, there are bottles there for investigation, for forensic investigations to take place so that we can be able to get fingerprinting and so on. And the delay of the police at the same time, especially on the station levels, must be addressed, because I don't understand where is our intelligence. It doesn't have to take more than 6 hours or 5 hours to realize there is a situation, and that creates the other houses to be burned and so on. It's a war here that must be stopped, because if it now affects families, it will end up leading to civil war or in society. Police must not play hide and seek. They must go directly and deal with the issue. I'm saying this as the member of the ANC. NAM is our alliance. Our people and our families are affected. It's not only affecting individual families. We've got a mutual responsibilities to each other, and society become affected, because it might even, these things might have crossed to another house, and children are being traumatized. Society become traumatized. I'm requesting that let the subs do what it has to do. Thank you.
Let's just get one more from the audience. Okay.
Firstly, let me take this time to thank the time given. Actually, firstly, I'm one of those who were attacked during that night of terror. And what Captain is saying, well, it's true, Captain, they came, the procedures that you are talking about, the forensic, the photos and everything, they did all those things. And I'm happy about that, honestly. The other thing that I would like here to suggest, in fact, let me come first to our members, because as NUM, because I hear there's infighting, we are not, and NUM is not fighting anyone. We talk to our members that not even a single house belonging to AMCO members is going to be attacked. And we are still maintaining that you must never, in a single day, attack a house belonging to AMCO members or even an AMCO member himself. No one should be attacked. We are a union, we know where we come from, and we were taught that it's a union that is not, it's a union that's not killing people, it's a union that is, we are non-violence union. Okay. The other thing that I would also like to suggest is that we are going to suggest that all the leadership of NACTU, even if it's not all of them, and our regional office bearers of NUM, together with you, Mr. Makubela, is it possible that we can all go with our national office bearers or our regional office bearers to sit down to discuss this, because this is not going to stop. And day in and day out, we are still hearing other intimidations. So what we are asking is, please, we want this thing to stop, because we don't know how long our members are going to resist these attacks.
Those were final comments and questions coming from the audience. As you can see, very impassioned pleas coming from the community for this issue of rivalry to be sorted out one way or the other. We'll take final remarks as well from the panel as we round up. Mem, I'll start with you. What are your comments or perhaps responses to some of the concerns that have come from the audience?
My comment, I'd like to say we need not hide behind other things. I would like to start with Nagtu. As he's the national spokesperson or whatever, we have structures within each and every organization, and the higher structure has to know what is happening in the ground. Our national media person, he has been here from day one. He is the one who was responsible to inform all the leadership of NUM of not only this incident, but all the incidents that are happening in each and every branch of the NUM, not only in the PWV, but nationally. So just to say that he does not know what is happening in another branch, honestly, he's just hiding behind a stick. The second point is that I would like to make an example with NUMSA and NUM. In ESCOM, NUMSA and NUM organizes in the same company. We have never seen such. If NUM has recently went on strike last year under ESCOM. No one was intimidated. No one was victimized. We understand that workers' rights are human rights. If they need to go to work, they need to go to work regardless of whatever. So why does this thing has to happen in this particular manner? And it's very sad. It's very sad that when we have to realize that things are falling apart, then we have to hide behind the stick and push somewhere else. Wrapping up, coming to the police is that we had a strike of some. Property of the government was in tatters. Some was charged. Is AMCU unable to be charged or investigated because this damage is because a civil servant has been attacked? If it was a property of the government, was AMCU going to be charged or investigated? So if it is individuals that are being attacked, then we have to come with individuals. Where is our safety? They have done their part. What is the police doing? We need to have time frames and we have emergencies. Things have happened and it has been repetition.
Okay, and just to wrap it up, ma'am, are you willing to come to a table with other trade unions and have this discussion, have this dialogue going forward to see how this can be resolved? With an open mind.
We are 100% behind that. Our leadership have went to Tata FM. We have been there, vocal inviting AMCU. They have never presented themselves. We have been there as NUM to say, come, let us talk what is happening. If you are pointing a finger to the wrong union, come, let us talk.
And of course, we also invited them onto the show. Unfortunately, they were not able to send a representative. They kept on promising us that they would, but eventually they never really came through. That's AMCU, of course. That's who I'm talking about. Thank you, ma'am. Those will have the...
I'm sorry for this. To say, even if I'm in the regional leadership, we've got a national leadership. Our national leadership has prior commitments. And they made it a point that they get somebody who will be coming and represent the union. I am here representing the union, not only because I'm a regional leadership, but I am here on the mandate of the union to say the union is here in the members to say, we are here, AMCU, come forward, we need to talk.
Okay, that message has been very clear. A clarion call there from NUM saying, AMCU, come to the table, let's talk, let's see how we can iron this out. Thank you very much, ma'am. Captain? Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like the comments of the community. But let me say first what the councillor have indicated to say we don't charge why we say we don't charge the organization. When we charge the organization, like my sister is indicating there, when there is a march or there is a protest which is applied, that's why they said you must apply. When you apply, we want to hold you responsible when something is wrong at the end of the day. So when the people of Samo, as you're saying, they've damaged the property, it was during the protest which was known that Samo is the one who is going to pass here in this street. If anything happened in this street, yes, we are going to charge the organization.
Okay, so that is the difference.
That
well,
is the
thank you for
difference.
clarifying
Yes,
that.
so
we
that's
don't
what I wanted
the same
to know.
thing
And one
over
other
and
thing,
over thing.
one other thing, what they are saying again, remember, the law is something else. The law does not work on hearsay. The law wants facts and wants evidence. If you say somebody told me that this is what happened, the law won't take it like that. If there is a person who have indeed seen that this something there happened, like Mama said, there was a number plate or car passed seen, and with that number plate, yes, we will take that number plate, we'll investigate that car. That person, if traced and found, he will be linked to the scene, as you have indicated. So investigation is not a thing which you can do it today and tomorrow you arrest a person. The people must bear with us, and they must know that, for an example, as it happened here, we are busy investigating. My brother confirmed that the experts came and they did they took their evidence in the scene. And those evidence, it will help us within our investigation. Sooner, somebody will be surprised to say who have done this, and that
Captain, just very
is
quickly
arrested.
before I let you go,
Yes.
I understand that when you take fingerprints from a crime scene, you know, you have to match them to a database that you have within your South African Police Service organization. But if the person hasn't committed a crime before, then you're not able to match those fingerprints, are you? Do you then go to Home Affairs to go through their database to see if you can match them, or is that not permissible?
There's no way. We don't wait for the person to commit crime and to say this is the person who committed crime. That's why, indeed, when you take an ID, they take your fingerprints. That is a database where we work hand in hand with. So there's no way where a person
hand in hand with the Home Affairs Department?
Yes, with the Home Affairs. We're working together. If somebody's fingerprint is being found, that particular suspect is going to be found.
Okay, that's the clarity I wanted. Very, it's such a huge relief to be able to know that. Mr. Makeleni, let's have closing remarks from you and some kind of assurance as the National Council of Trade Unions.
As NACTO, I understand the pain that we're going through because it has happened to me. My house was once petrol bombed. But at the same time, I would call on the police to check on the thought force of this. Because at Wits University, there were students striking, but there were some elements who were involved in this. In this, I also suspect that there can be people who are used to destroy the other people. But on my side, I'm not going to issue any statement as I did before. I'm going to call on all the authorities that are involved to attend to this. That's what I can promise.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching the program. People's Imbizo, brought to you by African News Network, coming to you from Sebokeng. Of course, we're talking about the issue of rivalry within trade unions. You're at home. Thank you for watching the program and participating. And it's a wrap. Goodbye.